Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we answer the tough questions like, can I recreate the dish that I tried at the Epcot Festival of the Arts, the Beef Wellington-inspired dish? And how does the ocean say hello to Ariel? That second one's easy. It waves. If you guys have been following along, I've been taking you guys on my food adventures to Epcot, to different places around Central Florida, and deciding to try to make some of the dishes that I try here for you guys to try. Today, we're gonna try to make this. This was a dish I tried at the Epcot Festival of the Arts. They called it a Beef Wellington-inspired dish. To break down the dish, it has mustard grilled steak, a croissant pinwheel with creamed spinach. We're gonna use crescent rolls to make this a little bit easier on ourselves. A mushroom ragu, which is basically a mushroom gravy, and a red wine sauce. Oh, it also has pickled mustard seeds. A little bit complex, but I think we can do it. To do it, let's start on our pickled mustard seeds, because that's kind of the thing we're gonna need to do first. These are mustard seeds. I got mine on Amazon. I'll throw a link down in the description. First thing we need to do is make a brine.
Into a pot, you're gonna put 1 cup of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 teaspoons of salt, 4 cloves of minced garlic, and then you're gonna bring that to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and set that aside. Now in a new pot, add 5 ounces of mustard seeds and cover it with cold water and bring it to a boil. Then simmer it for 30 seconds. Pour the brine into a mason jar, at least 16 ounces. Next, strain the mustard seeds and add them to the mason jar and give it a good swirl to combine everything.
The next step is just to let that sit out at room temperature for about 30 minutes to cool down, and then you can get a lid on it. Store it in your fridge for up to 2 weeks. They're just gonna get better as time goes. Now time to work on the creamed spinach portion of the dish. Get yourself a nice large saucepan. 3 tablespoons of butter in it over medium to low medium heat. While that is melting, go ahead and take 3 or 4 cloves of garlic and just get some garlic in there. Don't brown the garlic. Get yourself 1 bag of spinach and rinse it. Point, you can hit it with some salt, some black pepper. We're gonna cook this till it's wilted. Maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, just a couple minutes. We don't wanna overcook this. We're gonna go ahead and move this over here, pop you back on the heat. Get yourself a half a cup of butter, AKA 1 stick. 8 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then we're gonna cook this for a few minutes until all the flour is incorporated and it kind of starts browning a little bit. About 5 minutes. Keep your heat nice and low. You don't wanna burn this. If your heat's low enough, you don't need to whisk constantly, just every once in a while. All right, now that we got that like nice toasted looking color, we're gonna go in with about 2 cups of milk. This is whole milk, about a tablespoon of onion powder. Then we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit, whisking. We want this to come up to a boil, constantly whisking. See how nice and thick it is? Turn down your heat a little bit. Look how thick that is. Okay, I think I can cut the heat off. Now she's a little thick, so we are gonna add in some beef broth just to get it to a nice thin consistency. Something that looks like a cream sauce as opposed to this gelatinous mess that we have. Pepper, salt. Now, this was for making a lot more spinach than I needed to make. So this looks like a lot, but this is not just for our spinach. This is also going to be our mushroom ragu. We're multitasking. Now it's getting much closer to what I want. Now I'm using beef stock because we're gonna cook this and serve it with some steak. So I thought that would add more beef flavor. Then we're gonna cook this out for about 5 minutes. We really wanna get that raw flour taste out of there. That's starting to taste like a creamy sauce. That is just about right. We're gonna cut off our heat. You got your spinach. Take and put in a couple scoops. Give that a mix. Ooh, that's good. We're gonna set this aside. Actually, we're gonna set all this aside. Time to make our mushroom ragu. Start with 1 shallot. This was called a banana shallot. It was like a nice big shallot, so I bought it. You can use a regular onion. And that's pretty much all the chopping we need to do. Saucepan, medium heat. Couple tablespoons of good oil. I like to use avocado. Throw your shallot in, and you guessed it, more garlic. I'm Italian. I like garlic. This is 3 cloves. And we're just gonna cook these till they soften. Now, whenever you're using onions, it's always a good idea to add a little bit of salt to them. It's gonna help them sweat better, and they're just gonna cook up better when you're sauteing onions. Make sure you got enough oil in your pan. All right, when the garlic starts browning, you're good to go. For 12 ounces of mushrooms. These are Baby Bella. Don't worry, it's gonna cook down. Probably should have a bigger pan. Crowding your pan is not a great way to cook things, but this was what I had. Season these up. Hit it with some herbs. I've got herbs de Provence. I'm gonna hit it with some of that. These guys are cooking down, which is exactly what we want. Cut off the heat. Switch pans. Mushrooms. Now, to stay true to the recipe, this is a mushroom gorgonzola ragu. So I got some gorgonzola cheese, product of Italy. Oh, smells fantastic. Gorgonzola is very crumbly, so all I need to do is with my hands, I'm gonna crumble in most of this, but I'm saving some. This was 7 ounces. I probably did about 4. Kick your heat back on, stir this sucker together. Now I'm saving that other gorgonzola as like a topping. Oh, that is beautiful. We're gonna set this aside. We're finally getting down to the home stretch. All we gotta do is make our wine reduction sauce, make our croissants, grill our steak, and assemble. Sounds like a lot, but we'll get there, don't worry. We're gonna take our pan we used to do our mushrooms. Tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of flour. Just cook it till it starts to brown up nice. 1 cup of red wine. Try to use something you would like to drink. A cup of beef broth. Now we're getting all that goodness from all the other cooking we did in here. A tablespoon of, but of course, Grey Poupon. Salt, pepper. Then we're gonna boil this on high for about 5 minutes till it reduces by about half. After 5 minutes, your sauce should have reduced down pretty well. And it's time to finish it off. Hit it with about a half a lemon and 3 tablespoons of cold butter. Drop our heat down all the way to low. Taste it. Ooh, that's delicious. Keeping with the theme of everything. Set it aside. There's 2 things left to do. To make our crescent rolls, I'm gonna air fry them in my Ninja Woodfire with some charcoal pellets. So grab your pellet hopper. Give it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and makes it burn better, separates the pellets and gives it lots of air and makes it burn better, or does absolutely nothing and makes me feel like it burns better. I still do it every time. I set the wood fire to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, air crisp with the wood fire on, and I did 15 minutes. While that is preheating, let's roll out our crescent dough. Now they did pinwheels. I'm not gonna worry about being correct to their recipe. I'm just trying to get the feels. So we're gonna do crescent rolls. So we're gonna take a little bit of our creamed spinach and drop it down on one. And then we're just gonna roll them like you would normally roll a crescent roll. And these are gonna go in the air crisp basket. And we roll. These are gonna go in the air fryer when it's ready. We finally made it to the beef part of our Beef Wellington-inspired dish. Now, they used flank steak. I'm gonna use a hanger steak from my fine friends at Wild Fork Foods. Thank you, Wild Fork Foods, for providing this lovely looking steak. It's about 1.6 pounds of a beautiful hanger steak. We're gonna hit it up with some salt, some pepper. Of course, I'm gonna hit it with some dad dust. If you know, you know. 50% granulated garlic, 50% granulated onion. Splash of MSG. They called it a mustard grilled steak. I've mustard griddled burgers before, and they came out fantastic. So I don't see why this would be any different. And then we're just gonna kind of slather that mustard on there. Just got the notification. The Woodfire's ready. Let's throw these crescent rolls in.
Nothing fancy here. Just going to stick them in the air fryer just like they are. 15 minutes. Flip them probably about halfway. Just checking, making sure they don't stick. Using a spatula is an easier way to flip them with this basket. And then go the whole 15 minutes. You want them nice and crispy and browned.
We are so close. Last thing left to do, set it to grill high, no wood fire, and let it preheat. It's probably gonna take about 10 or 15 minutes, but that's okay. It's been about 10 minutes. Let's grill these off.
Nothing special here. All I did was put them right down on the grill, let them sizzle a little bit, closed it, checked it every once in a while, flip them, move them around to different spots on the griddle because they're gonna be hotter once you move them. I needed a little bit of oil at one point just to kind of get things going a little bit better. And check the temps. I pulled mine right around 125, 130 because I was looking for like that medium rare after a rest.
Now, we wait, then assemble. Time to slice up these steaks and see how they look. I'm gonna go with the thicker one first. Ooh, that looks good. Now, you wanna cut against the grain on this. So I'll cut it in half again. Then we'll take some super thin slices against this grain. Croissant, mushroom ragu, a couple slices of steak, red wine, a couple pickle seeds. And just because I want to, I'm going to put a little bit of this gorgonzola right on top. And this is my version of Disney's Beef Wellington-inspired croissant from the Epcot Festival of the Arts, the Craftsman's Courtyard. It looks pretty good. Now for the important part. How's it taste? Does it taste anything like what I had at Disney? Cut it in half to make it a little bit more manageable. All right, a little bit of the mushroom, a little bit of the croissant, steak. It's a big bite. It's too big a bite. It tastes like it. It tastes exactly like it. I would say go light on those pickled mustard seeds. They are pretty potent and a bit bitter. The steak, awesome. That mushroom ragu, that's solid. Ways to make this easier. You can buy pre-made cream of spinach. You can buy like a cream of mushroom soup and just add some mushrooms and thin it out a little bit. And they even sell demi-glazes already made. So you can swap the red wine reduction for a demi-glaze, bake up a crescent roll, grill up some steak, and then you'll get really close to what I made. Probably not as good, but very close. Ooh, that hanger steak is fantastic though. I don't know if I would go through the hassle of making the mustard seeds. They're a little bitter. Maybe they'll get better as they pickle longer in the fridge, but not really a fan of them. What I am a fan of is this steak. I hope you guys are enjoying this new little thing I'm doing where I go out, try a dish, and then try to recreate it at home for you guys. If you are, please do the likey, subscribe stuff. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. If you really want to support this channel, consider becoming an airplane flying over my thing and wrecking my audio. Consider becoming a member. You're gonna get 24-hour early access to videos, behind the scenes updates, producer credits, shout outs, all kinds of fun stuff. But if you can't be a member, please just subscribe. I'd love to hit 50,000 sooner than later. That came out really well. So there's only one thing to go over. Why does Alice ask so many questions? Because she's in Wonderland. Yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, make fantastic dishes that he tried at Disney, but at home. But one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye. One thing Dad will do is eat more of this steak.
This is the part where I thank all of my members. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for your support and rock on. I don't know why I said rock on, but rock on.